Hi friends, welcome to day 5 of Sheltober, and welcome to Shelby in the Book Club. I'm Shelby Monet, and in today's video we're going to talk all things books that I would love to read again for the first time. I am a very nostalgic type person, and one of my favorite things to do ever is to rediscover music. So whether it be like a song I haven't heard in years or something that I remember my mom listening to when I was a kid, I love that feeling of falling in love with a song over again. But I find that I can't do that with books. Once I know what happens, it happens, and I can't again get the thrill that I got from reading the book for the first time. So if you would like to hear of all the books that I would like to read again for the first time, here you go. So these books are in no particular order. They are just in a pile of things that I would like to read again. So first we're going to start off with The Coldest Winter Ever by Sister Seger. We read this as a book club pick last year, and it was my first time reading it again as an adult. And when I tell you I hated every second of it, I did not enjoy reading this as an adult, because adult Shelby, the Shelby that I am today, wants to help Winter. I want to protect her. I want to know why she did not have better guidance in her life. I want to know why the system failed her. I want to scoop her up and to cradle her like a little baby. When I first read this, I wanted to be Winter. I was like, her parents don't care about nothing. She is in the outside. She is doing the things. She is experiencing things. So I really would like, I really would like the thrill that this gave me when I first read it. Obviously, I don't really want to be Winter. I don't want to do any of the things. The first time reading this, I was just like, and then my favorite character, Midnight. The very first boy that I deemed, I loved him. Oh, he watches my videos. He's going to see this and he's going to call me because he knows I'm going to be talking about him. I'm not even going to say his first name. I'm just going to say his middle name. Listen, Quayshawn, he was my Midnight. He was my Midnight. He was. And that didn't end the way that I wanted it to anyway. So I guess everybody failed me, because I would love to read this again and get the original thrill that I had, because as a little girl, I was just enthralled with that book. Like, I absolutely loved it. I was so I loved it. Okay, next on the list, another book club pick, Lovecraft Country by Matt Ruff. I'm sure if I read this again, I will still love it, because there are so many things to love about this book. There are just so many things about the writing style, about the stories, about the characters to love about this book. Like, I don't think there's anything that you can't love about this book. The thrill, I wouldn't necessarily consider it a horror. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't go as far as that. But I think just Matt Ruff put his foot in this book. So much so that I want to read his other work. I just have not gotten around to it. And I love that it talks about the Safe Negro Travel Guide, which is the Green Book in real life. How it incorporates Black characters as the heroes, as the people that win, opposed to historically horror being basically a way for them to make fun of us. I love this, and I love the show. I go back and kind of comfort watch the show as one of my things that, like, oh, if I just need something to watch, I'll put on Lovecraft Country. Next, I talk about this book so much that at this point y'all should know that I love it. The Secret Lives of Baba Segi's Wives. If you haven't read it yet, it is as messy as a rib sandwich. Some of the turns that this book took, I did not expect. I was shocked. I was appalled. I laughed. not a lot of things make me cry, but it made me think about crying. This book, like, I don't really know. I don't think y'all understand how good this book is and how it really gives a perspective of womanhood in a different country, and what it means. And I think also it talks a lot about like womanhood and what it means to be a woman and how that thing is different, and how a lot of people are not being themselves because of their culture, and how they have to hide for the safety of their lives, of their families, of their children, and they just have to hide who they are just to survive, right? And that sucks. But that book is messy as a rib sandwich. Do you hear me? Messy. And I loved every second of it. Next, Razor Blade Tears by S.A. Cosby. I did not expect to love this book so much. When I picked this, another book club pick, when I picked that as a book club pick, I picked it because I wanted to support S.A. Cosby, who I've heard amazing things about, and I see why. That book is very modern, and the writing is good, but the storytelling, because I think storytelling and writing is, you can write very blandly and still tell a good story, or you can write very detailed and not tell a good story. Writing and telling a story are two different things. He is an amazing storyteller. When I say I was pulled into this story and the little twists and the turns, like, it very much made me feel like I was watching The Law and the Order or something like that. Like, I was sitting watching a TV show that would come on like FX or like a Miami Vice or something like that. Like, it was like a modern day one of those. That's how I felt when I was reading this book. And if I remember correctly, I read maybe the first half and I listened to the rest of it, or vice versa, or whatever. And reading it, excellent. Listening to it, excellent. I loved. And when I tell you I sobbed at the end of that, I sobbed. That book was good. It was funny. It was characters that I felt like I knew a little bit, or have seen, or have come in contact with in the outside. I would love to read that again for the first time. I would love to read it again for the first time, because I did not know. I didn't know what I was like. I read the synopsis and I'm like, okay, these two dads are looking for revenge for their babies. And they was on some Drake, looking for revenge all summer 19. They got what they was looking for. I'll tell you that much. Next on the list, this is the second book because I don't know where the first one is in my collection, but this should not surprise you at all. The Rage of Dragons series. Again, this is the second book. Baby, what more do I have to say to you to convince you that you need to read The Rage of Dragons? You see, my eyes is watering. That's all the proof you need. When I tell you Evan Winters put his motherfucking foot in this book, in the series, I can't wait for the third one to come out. I sit in his DMs, camped out with my snacks and my pitchfork often. Because, sir, why you got us waiting? Why is it that you have us waiting like this? I don't understand. They can't just send me like an email with the PDF in it. They can't do that. I learned how to bind books myself when I was at Squam. I can bind it myself. I don't need stressed, okay? If you are looking for Game of Thrones meets Gladiator with black people, because representation is important. I don't care what y'all got to say about Ariel and the Little Mermaid and Halle Bailey and all of that. Representation matters, because y'all didn't see all the babies watching that video crying. Representation matters, damn it. There were dragons, and the people can control the dragons with their mind and the magic that they got to go in the underworld for to harness the magic. But then you got to fight the things that's in the underworld to stop them from getting you, because if they get you, they kill you, because only the women could go under there and not be seen. Yeah. So I would love to read this again for the first time. It was an amazing experience, and I think the thing that I loved the most was that I got to read it with my mom. So us, like, she was listening while I was actually reading, and like her being excited and me not being at that part yet, and then us figuring things out together, like coming together to be like, well, what does mean when he said such and such? Did you get to the part when such and such said and did this, blah, blah? That was also very, very fun. So I would say buddy read that with someone, because it's intense, it's good. The books are really long, but it's worth it. And also, these are the best paperback. I don't know what Orbit has the best paperbacks ever. Oh my gosh, they are so good. I wish all books came in Orbit paperback. Okay, another one that y'all are not going to be surprised about at all, because I talk about this book very often, because this is a Tia Williams Stan account. 7 days. I can't even say it. 7 days in damn June. Tia Williams put her ankle in this book. Oh, it was so good. And the thing that I love about it is that it's not your typical love story. I've come encounter with a bunch of people that said that they did not like this book because of the trauma and the way that it speaks about trauma in this book, right? That is important, because I feel like a lot of people just act like you just gonna meet this man down to the Starbucks and he gonna be rich and beautiful and he gonna be like, oh, I want you, and then that's gonna be it. No, people have things to unpack. People can't love you properly because they have not healed properly, and this book is a representation of that, and how you will have these encounters with trauma and they stick with you for life. And the only way that you're gonna get over it is when you face it, and they had to face each other. I might have to just read this again just for the sake of me. I mean, I listen to the audiobook all the time, but I might have to just pull the book out and listen, read the book, because it just was so good. It was so good. And I don't like romance that's like your typical mushy whatever with that. I don't like that. I like things that are realistic, and them going through what they went through in high school and then meeting back up again, and then things not necessarily working the way that they saw fit, and then having to find each other because they were in love. That is real. That's real. Okay, last but certainly not least, because I feel like I could do this about a lot of books, and if y'all would like to see this a part 2 of this, let me know. But last but certainly not least is The Prophets. Look, just scrolling through, I can see my notes, right, and calling people bastards and stuff, and all my highlighting and stuff. I enjoyed this book for a lot of different reasons. Now, trigger warning, it is about slavery. I know a lot of people don't like reading historical fiction, but I do. I don't mind reading about slavery unless it's like too detailed in the abuse. But for the most part, I don't mind reading it. Excuse me. What I liked about this was they were human. They had their own personalities. There was a spiritual aspect to it, which I think is very much a part of the African American community and our culture and who we are as people. From things being painted hate blue down to, the way we create altars and honor our ancestors, and the way that we have pictures in our house, and the food that we cook, and all of that stuff. Spirituality is a big part of what we do. And I know a lot of people like to call it superstition. Very superstitious. Music is everything in my mind. But it is a big part of us. And I love that there were so many different examples of our culture in this book, and how everything kind of came together in the end. It just was, it was a good book. And I feel like not enough people read this. I don't think that Robert Jones Jr. got the hype that he needed behind this, because this is a phenomenal book. This and Yonder, I'll recommend it to anybody that is looking for this type of book to read. I think they were phenomenal. So like I said, if you guys want to see a part 2 of this, let me know. what kind of emoji should y'all leave for this video? Leave a crying emoji, since my eyes was tearing this whole video. If you've made it this far, leave a crying emoji in this video, and in the comments, and let me know, have you read any of these books? Did you like them? Did you not like them? And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. If no one's told you today, I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow for the next Sheltober video. Bye, guys.